Imagine a world long before our own, a time when the earth was draped in vast humid forests and giant creatures roamed the land. This was the late Jurassic period, an era of titans. Among these magnificent animals, one stands taller than almost any other. This creature was the Brachiosaurus, a name that means arm lizard, a nod to its unusually long front limbs. It was a true giant, one of the most colossal land animals ever to have walked our planet. Its sheer size and gentle nature have captured our imaginations for over a century, making it one of the most beloved and recognizable dinosaurs in history. The fame of Brachiosaurus is truly well-deserved. When its first fossils were discovered, they painted a picture of an animal unlike anything seen before. Scientists were astonished by its immense proportions, particularly its extraordinarily long neck, which it held high like a modern-day giraffe. This remarkable creature was a sauropod, a group of long-necked, four-legged, plant-eating dinosaurs. But even among these giants, Brachiosaurus was special. It wasn't just long, it was incredibly tall, a living skyscraper of flesh and bone that towered over the ancient landscape, a testament to the grand scale of life during the age of dinosaurs. Our journey to understand this animal takes us back some 154 million years, to the lush floodplains of what is now North America. Here, amidst towering conifer trees and dense ferns, the Brachiosaurus thrived. It was a peaceful herbivore, its life dedicated to the slow and steady task of feeding its enormous body. Its great height was not for defense but for reaching the most tender leaves at the very top of the Jurassic canopy. It moved with a slow, deliberate grace, its massive legs carrying its incredible weight across the prehistoric terrain with a quiet power that commanded respect from all who shared its world. Seeing a Brachiosaurus in its natural habitat would have been an unforgettable spectacle. Picture a herd of these gentle giants moving slowly through the misty morning light, their long necks reaching up into the canopy like massive, flexible cranes. They were a fundamental part of their ecosystem, shaping the very forests they lived in by their constant browsing. Their presence was a defining feature of the late Jurassic, a living, breathing monument to the wonders of evolution. Their story is not just one of size, but of a unique adaptation to a world of giants, a world we can now only visit through the marvel of fossil evidence. The most striking feature of the Brachiosaurus was undoubtedly its incredible height. Reaching up to 13 meters, or about 43 feet into the air, it was as tall as a four-story building. This elevation was achieved thanks to its spectacularly long neck, which could measure up to 9 meters all on its own. This neck was a marvel of biological engineering, composed of elongated vertebrae filled with air sacs to reduce their weight. These air sacs, similar to those found in modern birds, made the massive structure light enough for the dinosaur to lift and maneuver, allowing it to browse with surprising delicacy for such a colossal animal. What made the Brachiosaurus truly unique among sauropods was its distinctive body plan. Unlike its relatives, such as Diplodocus, its front legs were significantly longer than its hind legs. This gave it a giraffe-like posture with a back that sloped downwards from its powerful shoulders to its hips. This unusual build naturally angled its neck upwards, helping it reach the highest branches without extra effort. Its strong, pillar-like legs were built to support its immense weight, which could be up to 58 metric tons, the equivalent of a dozen elephants. Each footstep would have shaken the ground, a steady, rhythmic beat of a true prehistoric heavyweight. The head of the Brachiosaurus was quite small in comparison to its enormous body, a common trait among sauropods. It had a high domed skull with nostrils located on a bony arch high up on its forehead, a feature that once led scientists to believe it lived in water. We now know this was not the case. Its mouth was filled with chisel-like teeth, perfectly suited for stripping leaves and shoots from branches but not for chewing. It would simply gulp down mouthfuls of foliage, letting its vast digestive system do the hard work of breaking down the tough plant matter it consumed throughout its day. To complete its magnificent form, the Brachiosaurus had a thick, muscular tail that was shorter than that of many other sauropods. While some dinosaurs used their tails as whips for defense, the Brachiosaurus's tail likely served more as a simple counterbalance for its long neck and heavy front end. Its entire body was a masterpiece of adaptation, a carefully balanced system where every part had a purpose. From the tip of its high-reaching snout to the end of its sturdy tail, the Brachiosaurus was perfectly designed for a life spent grazing at the very top of its world, a gentle giant built on a truly epic scale. The life of a Brachiosaurus was governed by a simple yet demanding need, an enormous appetite. As a herbivore, its diet consisted exclusively of plants. Its great height gave it access to a food source that was out of reach for most other dinosaurs. It could browse on the leaves, shoots, and fruits of tall trees like conifers, ginkgos, and cycads, feasting on foliage far above the heads of its contemporaries. This specialized feeding strategy meant it did not have to compete with the many other plant eaters that grazed on lower-lying ferns and shrubs, carving out its own unique niche in the bustling Jurassic ecosystem. To fuel its massive body, a single Brachiosaurus had to consume a phenomenal amount of food every single day. Modern estimates suggest it may have needed to eat up to 400 kilograms, or about 880 pounds, of plant material daily. This is like eating a very large haystack's worth of food from sunrise to sunset. Because its teeth were only good for raking and stripping, it did not chew its food. Instead, it swallowed vegetation whole, which then traveled down its long esophagus to a gigantic stomach. Some scientists believe it may have swallowed stones, known as gastroliths, to help grind up the tough plant fibers in its gut, aiding digestion. The daily routine of a Brachiosaurus was likely a slow and methodical one. It would have moved at a ponderously slow pace, perhaps no faster than a human's walking speed, conserving energy as it traveled between feeding grounds. Its immense size meant it had few, if any, natural predators as an adult. A fully grown Brachiosaurus was simply too large and powerful for even the most fearsome carnivores of its time, such as the mighty Allosaurus, to attack. This allowed it to move with a calm confidence, its focus remaining solely on finding the next patch of lush treetop foliage to satisfy its constant hunger. We can imagine these gentle giants moving in small herds, a social structure that would have offered protection for the young, who were far more vulnerable to predators. They would have spent their days migrating slowly through the ancient forests, their heads held high among the leaves, constantly browsing. Their slow, steady rhythm of life was the heartbeat of the Jurassic forest. Their constant eating not only sustained them but also helped shape the environment, clearing upper branches and allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor, influencing the very structure of the world they inhabited so peacefully. The world of the Brachiosaurus was a vibrant and dynamic one. It lived during the late Jurassic period in North America, a time when the landscape was dominated by warm, wet climates that supported sprawling forests and vast, fern-covered plains. These ancient forests were home to a diverse community of dinosaurs. Herds of Brachiosaurus would have shared their habitat with other giant sauropods like the long-tailed Diplodocus and the robust Camarasaurus. Each of these herbivores specialized in feeding at different heights, allowing them to coexist without competing directly for the same food, a beautiful example of niche partitioning in nature. However, life was not entirely without peril. While an adult Brachiosaurus was a fortress of flesh and bone, the Jurassic forest were also stalked by formidable predators. The most famous of these was the Allosaurus, a large carnivorous dinosaur with sharp teeth and powerful claws. These predators would have posed a significant threat to young, old, or sick brachiosaurs, ensuring that only the strongest survived to adulthood. The constant presence of such dangers meant that even these peaceful giants had to be aware of their surroundings, their herds providing a collective watch against the ever-present threat of attack from the shadows of the forest. The reign of the Brachiosaurus, like that of all dinosaurs, eventually came to an end. It disappeared from the fossil record at the end of the Jurassic period, long before the final mass extinction event that wiped out its later relatives. Its extinction was likely due to environmental changes, as the lush, wet climates of the Jurassic gave way to drier conditions in the subsequent Cretaceous period. The tall, leafy trees it depended on became less common, and this specialist feeder was unable to adapt to the changing vegetation. Its disappearance marked the end of an era for one of Earth's most magnificent creatures. Though it has been gone for over 150 million years, the Brachiosaurus lives on powerfully in our collective imagination. It is often one of the first dinosaurs we learn about as children, its gentle nature and towering form making it an icon of the prehistoric world. Its discovery challenged our understanding of the limits of life on land, and continues to inspire awe and wonder. The Brachiosaurus remains a symbol of the grandeur and majesty of the natural world, a timeless reminder of a time when giants truly did walk the earth, reaching for the heavens with every slow, deliberate step.